So solving by factoring, first thing you gotta do is set it equal to 0. First thing we gotta do is set equal to 0. Where is my... Why aren't you doing stuff? There it is. So we're going to make the right side equal 0. So that means we have to move the 3x over. And anytime you go over it, it changes signs. So if this is positive 3x, we're going to change signs to negative 3x. And you line it up. So this 3x had an x, 2x has an x, so it goes underneath, like terms. And then same thing with the minus 3. We're moving everything to the right. So we need to move the 3, I know my right's the left, 3 to the left. Move everything to the left. So if there's minus 3 on this side, we're going to add 3 on this side. And you put it under the number. All right, ladies and gentlemen, write it down. Take notes. It's the only way you can do it. Katie, get out some notes. Put up the phone. All right. All right. So now that everything is moved over, you just simplify each side. So we have x squared, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. And negative 59 plus 3 is negative 56. If you don't know, use calculator. Negative 56. Positive 3x, negative 3x cancels. And negative 3 and positive 3 equals 0. Negative 3 and positive 3 equals 0. All right, figure out what A, B, and C are. Figure out what A, B, and C are. So A is 1, B is negative 1, and C is negative 56. All right, since A is 1, you can skip the box method. I said this yesterday, so if you weren't here, that's what I said yesterday. You can skip the box method and just do your X. A times C adds to B. So A is 1, C is negative 56, and B is negative 1. Now slow down, because I want you guys to think of the numbers. So numbers that multiply to 56 and add to negative 1. If you don't know, you got to make your list. 56. 1 and 56. 56 is even, so it's divisible by 2. 2 and 28. 56 is not divisible by 3 because you get decimal. 56 divided by 4 is 14. It's not divisible by 5 because it doesn't end in a 5 or a 0. Gives you a decimal if you put in 5. 6 is a decimal. 7 is 8. And then the next number you try would be 8. So you know your list is done. So all of these multiply to 56. But which would add or subtract to give me -1? 7 and 8. Which one's negative? 8's negative. If you want to add to a negative, you want the bigger number to be negative. If you want to add to a positive, you want the bigger number to be positive. All right, since a equals 1, I'm going to skip our box method and jump straight to my parentheses. So to get x squared, x times x is x squared, and you use your numbers, +7 minus 8. +7, a +7, and a -8. You can only do that if a equals 1. Today we're working on questions where a doesn't equal 1, so make sure you remember the box method always works. 7x, -8x, we did x, 7, and -8. And then this is the new part that came in. So after you factor, you have to set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. So what was it, last week, 2 weeks ago? We would be done because all you had to do is factor. Now you have to set each factor, each parentheses, equal to 0 and solve. So that's just one-step equation solving. Hopefully not too hard for you. Minus over your 7. Add over your 8. So setting this one equal to 0, I'm moving my x over, so minus over my x. But there's no term with an x to like put it under. So I'm just going to put it in the middle. Because your order is usually x squared, then x, then the number. I also have to move over the 9. It's a +9, so I'm going to subtract over the 9. X's cancel. And 9 minus 9 is 0. So you have x squared goes first, then your x, and then we need to know what -11 minus 9 is. Minus -11 minus 9? Negative what? 20. -20. So I thought I heard. -20. And then we ignore the equals 0 completely. And we just factor this side. A is always the number in front of x squared. B is always the number in front of x. And C is just the number by itself. I need more table now. Remember, when you factor, you put ax squared in your first box, c in your last one, and then you have to think of two numbers to go with x. So a times c, 1 times negative 20 is negative 20. Move this down a little bit. And b is negative 1. So think of two numbers that multiply to give you negative 20, but if you add, so you're right, 4 and 5 multiply to 20 get positive 20. So one of them has to be negative 5. So 4 times negative 5 multiplies to negative 20, and 4 plus negative 5 adds to negative 1. So that's how we found our two numbers. Since a equals 1 in this last question of the day, you can skip your reverse box method and just go to your answer. X times x gives you x squared, positive 4, negative 5. Just to show you it worked. X here, negative 5x here. X times x gives me x squared. 4 times x gives me 4x. Negative 5 times x gives me negative 5x. And 4 times negative 5 gives me negative 20. So that's factor. The left side's factor. Last step. Set each factor equal to 0. Those are your 3 steps on solving this. Set each factor equal to 0 to solve it. Minus over 4. Add over 5. Is there anything else you need to see in that question? Any questions I can answer about that question? They want you to write it as x equals negative 4, comma 5.
And that plus one in the top right, you have to make it into because it was supposed to be the box.
Yeah, you want, like when you are entering your question, you want it to look like this, comma, this.
And you just put the number in the number.
Oh, it doesn't have x equals.
If you do, and then so you know, you know.
Thanks. So we just want to write it like -4. All right, let's get a little bit harder. Because A now is not 1. So you have to do reverse box method. You don't have to write your steps. I was just reminding you. You should already have those written down. We have 5x squared minus 7x. Oh, no. -7x plus 6x. We can combine this. -7x plus 6x. -7 plus 6. -7 plus 6. Oops, wrong one. 7, negative plus 6. -1. -7x plus 6x is -1x. Then we have minus 4. Now we're going to factor the left side. Now A is not bigger, A is bigger than 1, so we have to use our box method. A is bigger than 1, so we have to use our box method. We can go ahead and get that set up. Hey, we kind of already did this one. A times C, 5 times -4. Is -20. So we already did that. We already know all our factors of 20 and adds to -1. We already did. Yeah. So 4, -5. 4 times -5. 4 times -5. Multiply to -20 and add to -1. I'm not gonna waste our time doing it again if we've already done it. Yeah. 5x squared goes in the top. -4 goes in the bottom. Then we use our numbers. So I'm gonna put 4x here and -5x there. It doesn't matter where you put them now. So as long as you just put them with the 2 next.
Alright. So this is a hard one because A is bigger than 1. This is when everyone gets has trouble with it. We're gonna see what's common in 5x squared and 5x 1x. Oh, I agree with X. What's in common with 5x squared and 5x? 5x squared and 5x. We have 1 and 5, 2x and 1 and 5 and 1x. What was the greatest common factor? That's why you have to pull out 5. When the other ones we were doing all yesterday, all reading of this class, they were always X's, so now it's harder to just look at the 5x there. But from there, it's all the same. So 5x times 1 gives you 5x squared. That's 5x. And if you don't like, think, you can just use division. 5x squared divided by x, 5x. That's how I look at it. About 5x is negative 5x. Negative 1. Okay. 5x is sorry. And then we have x times
X times 4. You get 4x. Or you can think of it as division. 4x divided by x is 4. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And that's factored. So the outside is 5x plus 4 and x minus 1. And we can't skip this box this time because 4 and 5 isn't what the answer is. So each equal to 0 and so just 2 separate equations. And then the last step, divide by 5. So x equals negative 4 over 5. And Delta Math just leaves it as a fraction. So you can leave it as a fraction. If you put in a decimal, it's not wrong, but you don't have to change it. And not over 1.